What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Louis Vuitton Don. This time going against the best roamer in the world, in my opinion, and many others, and one of my personal favorite Vainglory players in the entire game, Gabevizzle. He is on Catherine, which is one of his best supports, and we've got, I believe, 6 VG silvers in this game. So stay tuned for this one, guys. I know it's going to be a long video, but it has a funny ending, and we play pretty well, make a couple mistakes, but it's definitely an interesting game. So we're playing Scarf in the jungle, and we have, I believe, Take the L is his name, and he's playing Lane Vox. So we're playing into a Weapon Blackfeather, and Weapon Blackfeather in general is just extremely strong at certain stages in the game, just because of his execute, and his level 6 power spike is insanely strong. I actually didn't notice that. It looked like we saw their Blackfeather going for that regen, and I guess I didn't notice. So I rotated up to lane, but accidentally gave up that regen. So I know he's down here, and try to get a little bit of damage off, but I am a little apprehensive. I don't really want to hard engage on him because Blackfeather's a really good hero, and he can kill Scarf, especially early in mid game. But right now we're just trying to get our farm, and we're trying to just reach the mid game and the late game so that I can hopefully start to carry on Scarf. You can see, even when I'm in the jungle, I like to get Weapon Blade on Scarf just because of how good his basic attacks are and how much damage they do early if you can get the Fan the Flames perk. Right here I probably poured home. I kind of forget this game, so yeah, I poured home, pick up some more CP and boots, and then head on back down there. But we've got 2 Sweaty, we've got Rice Gum, and Gabevizzle on the other team. So yeah, Gabevizzle, I think he's VG Silver right now, but obviously he's VG Gold and one of the best roamers in the world. And Catherine is an extremely strong roamer this patch as well. So we're going to just keep on taking his tops when we get the opportunity. You can see he took the mid regen there again, and here I make kind of a risky play. I see that his backs are up, and I see that he's going for that, so I try to go in on him, but I didn't actually see that he had shopped, so he had picked up a heavy steel and another Weapon Blade here, and I didn't notice right until after I died. So yeah, that makes sense that that I died there, because Blackfeather, you know, he gets a lot of weapon damage off, because all you need is those 5 execute stacks, and then he can kill me when I'm at about a quarter health. Blackfeather's actually one of my favorite heroes to play, but it is a little difficult to play him in the jungle, just because he doesn't get as fed unless he sort of snowballs hard, but Ricegum does a pretty good job. And he ends up stealing that, and unfortunately I have to fight him again, so I try to kite him out, but he's able to hit his B and then kill me again. So, not off to the best start. We're 0-2. That was a good play by him, just to wait in that brush and then steal that. But Vox is doing a fantastic job in lane. They pick up a double kill Gabe and the Celeste, 2 Sweaty. So, looks like Vox is rushing Poison Shiv. Pretty standard on Vox. Sort of delays his power spike a little bit, but makes it very easy to farm, and it will definitely be beneficial for him once Celeste gets Eve of Harvest. So right now I'm just, trying to play passive, trying to farm up, trying to get Frostburn, and then help lane, help Vox try to do a little bit more damage in lane, help him poke that Celeste out so she doesn't get too fed, because at this point it doesn't look like I can win jungle or do anything crazy because I have 2 deaths already. So yeah, we're just gonna land some Spitfires, maybe? Yeah. Celeste has a good core collapse there. And Blackfeather, as I mentioned earlier, he spikes very early. Once he just gets a little bit of weapon power, he will start to be a menace. So they definitely have us early game, but Vox, once he gets breaking point or once he gets a little bit tankier, he should start to be able to survive Blackfeather and kill him. Blackfeather dies for me there. You know, it's whatever. I don't really think that was worth for him to die because they're up in gold, so I get bounty gold off of that. But yeah, you can see he already picked up a Sorrow Blade. Farm's still fairly even between the both of us, but he does have 3 kills. And looks like lane farm's fairly even as well. You can see I pick up the Frostburn there. Follow this up. I believe I get a Broken Myth this game. And Broken Myth second, I decided to go because Eve into a Blackfeather isn't the greatest idea for a Scarf in the Jungle because Blackfeather will likely be just assassinating me and bursting me down, and Eve won't be that incredibly effective because I won't be able to survive his burst no matter what. So I just want to be able to out-damage him and be able to be impactful in team fights. So decide to go for a Broken Myth second. Because if I were to get Eve and then fall behind in a couple fights, then it could delay my Broken Myth significantly, and then I just won't have any impact. So if I can manage to get the stacks up on Broken Myth once I get it, then I should start to do a little bit of work. Blackfeather goes in here. Vox is a nice silence. We do manage to land a Spitfire and kill him there, so that's big for us. Winning any kind of team fight this early is definitely a win. I'm holding on to my ultimate a little bit here. Celeste lands a nice she lands a nice Supernova, but we pick up the other kill there with a Spitfire. Pick up a Heavy Prism, and it looks like Catherine's going to go ahead and die here. Let Vox get that kill, so that was a nice turn of events for us. Blackfeather just overextended slightly, and we were able to pick him off with a Spitfire and the re-engage from Vox. Slightly risky, just a little bit to get Goldmine here, because Blackfeather is doing a lot of damage and he could possibly engage. So you can see right here I just hide the health bar of the Goldmine with my health bar, so it's really difficult for them to try to steal it, and we get a fairly lucky break there. None of us die and we manage to pick up Goldmine. Vox picks up that regen and don't really want to fight here, kind of want to shop, but managed to land an A-B combo on Celeste. However, Vox does die, Blackfeather goes in, and we unfortunately get double killed. Looks like they're going to push lane here, but I wasn't sure if Blackfeather was going to kill me if I were to get my farm. So, yeah, here I just have to rotate up to lane so they don't end up taking our turret. But if we can stop them from taking turret, and if I can get my Broken Myth here pretty soon, then we should be in fairly good shape. You can see I'm already doing a lot of damage. Celeste, when she's getting hit by my Spitfires, she's getting chunked. So we do manage to save turret there, despite Vox and Lance dying, which is good for us. Go ahead and pick up the backs, and I decide not to port home here because I can't get Broken Myth because it's 1750. So just try to help them push lane. And it looks like Celeste probably ported home to get her health back, so yeah, if we can just keep harassing her, keep poking her, I outrange her because she's not level 8. So we do manage to get the turret there. Gabe goes in, he lands an Atlas on our Vox, and right here, I'm okay with porting home, picking up Broken Myth, and then heading back to lane because Vox will be able to survive long enough to stop them from taking the turret there. So we go ahead and head back. I have a Broken Myth now, I have a Frostburn. I don't think Celeste has Broken Myth, so I'm actually out damaging her and I'm out leveling her. She does have level 8. Lance lands a good double impale here. If he double roots, that'll be really good for us. He double roots, we throw in the silence, but Celeste lands a core collapse, so we take a little bit of damage. Go ahead and have to port home here. Not sure what our support's doing. Yeah, he looks like he just died there. They're all really low though, but so is our Vox. So again, just head back to lane because I know how low they are. Stop them from getting turret, and hopefully just continue farming and try to not get snowballed, try to not lose any important fights. They're doing significant damage to turret, and they do unfortunately end up getting it there. We're landing Spitfires though, and I know that Blackfeather is going to be really low, and Celeste is fairly low as well. So we can probably get gold mine, so I go ahead and ping that. And I want to drop here. Lance is going in there on Blackfeather, but go ahead and land an AB combo, Root and Spitfire. Don't quite die. I know Lance almost has his fountain up soon. Yeah, he goes ahead and kills Blackfeather. Celeste is really low, so she's forced to go home. He goes ahead and pops fountain there. I'm not able to land a Spitfire because of the minion mine, but you can maybe get that kill. Do they end up getting that? It's close. Yeah, they do end up getting that double kill. And then Celeste looks like she stayed by, healed up a little bit off of a regen in her back. So unfortunately we can't get gold mine, but we get a little bit more damage off on Celeste, and I don't want to take all his farm, so go ahead and just drop here. I still need to just start building more raw CP to be impactful and outdamage Celeste during these team fights, so I decided to pick up an infuse because I really want to fight. I almost have level 11. I'm continuing to outlevel like almost everyone else. So Vox, again, just taking the ambient with me. As far as music for this video, I kind of want to put in Gucci Mane's new album. I actually got it early, and I don't know if copyright will get me on that, but I can probably just play a couple seconds of it for you. So I'll do that at a certain point. Maybe just of a new song, a snippet or something. If anyone here is a fan of Gucci Mane. We end up killing the Celeste there. You can see I'm doing a massive amount of damage. We take gold mine here fairly easily. It's just a 3v2. Take that, and Blackfeather goes in at a bad time. We kill him. Our Lance blocks the silence. Looks like Gabe maybe echoed his silence. Not sure if he quite has it yet, but we're able to get those tops, grab an Eve of Harvest, and I'm 3-item, 12.5 minutes in with an infuse, so I'm definitely wanting to fight. Go ahead, pick up some more ambient gold with Vox here, and yeah, we're doing pretty good for ourselves. At this point, I'm not sure the build that Celeste is going. She's probably going to go 4-item and, you know, just sort of melt us. So I want to try to poke her at range. Get some good damage here off on Gabe. Start to build the Broken Myth stacks a little bit. And Lance lands a nice impale there. We land a good root and then just ult and melt them all. So looks like Catherine actually ends up getting away, of course, because Gabe's a god. He's also a god at juking. We are able to pick it up for the ace. So that's going to be good for us. We end up getting another turret, and this was a turning point in the game. That was a bad time for them to die, and that team fight we just had was really good. So we pick up another turret. We pick up this one too. Decided to go ahead and call that because I know that they really can't chase because I'm doing a lot of damage and I can just throw Spitfires. So go ahead, hit the pings cheer, and now we're up in gold despite us falling behind in jungle in the early game slightly. I'm level 12, I have another 1700, so I want to most likely pick up another infuse or possibly get reflex. Yeah, I need to get reflex here and then build towards a clockwork. Yeah, looks like I get a chronograph and then try to get an infuse here before the 15-minute mark so that we can be ready for the Kraken fight. You can see it looks like Lance has Echo. Not 100% sure if Gabe has it, but Catherine with Echo is definitely difficult to go against. But our Lance here is pretty good, and he ends up blocking most of these silences. So pick up another Crystal Infuse here. I'm at a really strong point in my build. I'm reaching that late game Scarf that we all know is just a monster. don't get gold mine because it's only up 5 more seconds, but we want to pick another fight here. Looks like they're overextended a little bit. If we can just manage to find any sort of pick, if we can manage to just build some stacks, then we can do well for ourselves. Here I mess up a little bit. Celeste is landing a lot of damage off on me, and we just get out traded there, and unfortunately I do end up dying. That was a big mistake by myself. Yeah, Celeste has almost the same build that I do, except she exchanged Broken Myth for Clockwork, so she's able to just spam out those abilities. Blackfeather here, he is an Aegis, so he's defending heavily against me. But Vox here blocks the silence, throws out his ultimate. None of them have any armor, so he's been farming well, he's been getting fed, he's doing good for himself. Unfortunately gets silenced there, but both fountains come out, so it looks like they might 2v3. Vox here, great dodge, picks up the kill there. They can't quite drop because Celeste is going to kill them if he goes for them at range. Celeste almost picks up the lance kill there, but not quite. I don't know how Celeste died. I guess minions or something? But it's a good turn of events for us. Both the carries are dead and we end up getting Kraken. I know Gabe's nearby, so go ahead, try to poke him out of here. But that was a fantastic play by Vox and Lance. They carried that fight and they carried everything right there. It was a nice little 2v3. Vox really abusing the strength of Breaking Point. So we pick up Kraken. We could possibly push in for the win here if we play our cards right, but the video's longer than that, so you know something goes awry. Still looking to pick up that 4th item. I see Lance going for the backs and whatnot here. So yeah, we go ahead and pick that up. They could all drop on us here and we could regret this decision, but it doesn't end up happening. It's difficult to push into a Celeste just because of all the stars that she can drop and all the damage that she can get off when you're sieging with Kraken. But we try our best here. I really want to win this because I really want to beat Gabe because he's a beast. So we dodge that Celeste. Blackfeather goes in. I try to help support our Vox. We unfortunately get silenced there. Throw in our A-B combo, throw in our goop. Go ahead and ult here, but Celeste is doing so much damage and she hard focuses me. I don't have any shield yet, so unfortunately I mess up a little bit again there and we end up dying. I end up dying, but still very close, and Vox and Lance decide to go for this here. Probably not the best decision, but you know, it's whatever. They don't have any turrets. We have a bit of a lead. I don't blame them for trying to finish. Everyone always gets antsy against VG Gold players or players known as the best of their position in the game. So I'd say the reason we're winning this game is just because of some good fights that we had earlier, some good fights in the mid game. We managed to get some good damage off and start to snowball. Unfortunately, this Vox build does fall off fairly hard. This is sort of the Vox build of maybe the past meta. If you swapped a Tension Bow for a Sorrow Blade, he would do a bit more damage. But it is a little difficult to play with this build late game because Celeste can be very hard to dive, and that Vox build doesn't do an insane amount of damage, so even though most Celeste don't build any armor, he might still end up dying. You can see I pick up the Clockwork here, and a little nervous about this next fight because Weapon Blackfeather continues to scale really well. He doesn't quite have a breaking point yet, so we're okay. But Lance goes in here, takes a little bit of damage. Looks like Vox wants to go home, so I have to try to protect this turret. We do manage to land the goop there on Celeste, but she just melts me. Celeste already had some broken misstacks, and we throw there. We throw huge. Looks like Gabe lined up a nice silence, and I overextended, and I don't have any shield. And I mean, Celeste, when she's 4 items, she just destroys. This is why I think Celeste has a bit of an edge against Scarf late game, just because of, you know, how easily she just killed me there because of her ultimate. In 1v1 situations, Scarf vs Celeste is difficult because I think it's slightly easier to land Supernovas than Spitfires, and also she has that insane AoE and insane single target damage from her ultimate. But in teamfight situations, it is somewhat of an edge to Scarf, I think, just because of how powerful my ultimate is. Here we decide to just have Lance go towards their carries, distract them, and then we're going to go for the back door. Of course we are. We go ahead, pop the boots. They know about us now. They're trying to port home, but I'm a 4-item Scarf, and we've got a full late game build Vox here. So we sneak a game out of the best roamer in the world and one of my favorite players in the game. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you maybe learned a little bit about playing at a VG Silver level, and I will see you guys in the next video. Louis Vuitton down out.
Fresher than a bitch, hit the mall for the fit, and we fucking standing up, I'm standing tall in your bitch.